Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, President LightSkin. We back. We motherfucking back. Problematic LightSkin in the building. Episode 4. Dude, I just recorded the whole pod and then I realized I didn't hit the record on the video because everything like timed down. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized, oh shit, I didn't hit the record button. God damn. So the audio part was good, but just the video part. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we just don't do a video. But no. We have to sell. We have to sell. But anyways, welcome back to the pod. The only pod that doesn't classify itself as a podcast, but a therapeutic source of materials to help you to get out that bullshit you be on. I'm your host, President LightSkin. Today, first of all, let's address something. I lost one of my sponsorships, H2O. I'm talking with the lawyers now, trying to get them back, but right now they're upset that I didn't mention them on the pod for episode 3. That's my bad. A lot was going on. I forgot to put it in the notes, but so I had to go find a new sponsor. Not as much money, but shout out to our new sponsor for this week's episode, Air. That's AIR. Air. Just breathe, nigga. Super excited to have Air a part of the team. All right, let's get into it. So I think I'm going to try to push the pod up a little more. I think each week by week, I'm going up like maybe an extra 10 minutes. So we're going to try to get there. I did upgrade the mic. You can probably tell. I did want to make sure I get you guys a really good quality of audio, where I'm not peaking the sound like crazy. So I got the gain up. You know, I'm making sure I'm sounding good. All right. We got the sound effects on. I got a little soundboard, a little $40 soundboard I found on Amazon. You know, got a expensive ass fucking mic. It seemed like all XLR mics are fucking expensive. That's crazy. But yeah, this should last me for the next 10 years. All right. So I think we're good. We're good. I do want more sounds. Okay. I want more sounds. I only have 4. I can only do 4 and I'm okay with that. Maybe. All right. So let's get into the pod. So last week we talked about Fantastic Four, maybe splitting the episode into 2 episodes. I think after I left the movie, I was like, no, it's not something I just need to like go rush and talk about. I think Fantastic Four was a solid movie, probably the best out of all the Fantastic Four movies. I like the original ones; those were like fun and corny. But I feel like this was like a proper Fantastic Four. I can't think of his name right now. God damn it, motherfucker who says Excelsior. I was hoping that would trigger something. I literally can't think of. They always do cameos of this motherfucker. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The old dude that is Marvel. Just Sam Lee. Damn, I know Sam Lee proud. Maybe the way Marvel was treating him at the end was pretty crazy. But Sam Lee and Jack Kirby, the creators of Fantastic Four, gotta be happy somewhere. Like, hey, at least y'all finally did this shit. Now, let's get all these motherfuckers together and kill them all. Kill them all in one movie. Doomsday coming soon. So yeah, so Fantastic Four was a solid movie. I wouldn't say it was like, oh, it was groundbreaking. Like, this was the most amazing superhero movie. I thought it was fun. I thought the characters were like very loving. I was like, oh, I really felt like this was like a family. I felt part of the family. Like, yo, this was cool. Galactus, seeing him on TV, which I do want to see it in IMAX just so I can see the scale of Galactus. That would be pretty cool. I think overall I decided to give this movie a 3.5. It just really felt like, oh, here's a movie. You know, I really would love to see like another villain, because we got Mole Man in the movie, but he didn't do nothing. And then there's a scene where Reed is like, he baby-proofed the world. Like, he's like, oh, he's pointing out all these other villains that they just captured. And we don't see them. It's just I would have loved to seen them like fight another villain. Like, it didn't even have to be anything crazy big. We get the whole montage in the beginning, but I would have loved to seen one. Like maybe after they finish the fight, they all have Sunday dinner. Boom, Silver Surfer shows up. That it would have just been quick and fun, just to see them in action. And Fantastic Four, what was it like catching the professor or whatever the fucking their villains are? So yeah, I think that was it was a solid movie. So I would highly suggest it. I think Marvel's back in the better storytelling. What Thunderbolts could have been, like I just think it's not something we needed at this time. Like we didn't really need Thunderbolts, but Fantastic Four is just a good pace to put us back on track. Be like, all right, we know Spider-Man gonna be good. You got, but the thing about Spider-Man, like he always has help in his movies. Like I don't like first one was Iron Man, second one was did he have help in the second one? Kinda ish. No, he kind of handled it on his own because that was when Tony died. Okay, I'll give it to him. He held his own on the second one. The third one, he had Doctor Strange. So, well, and then now he has Punisher in the new one. All right, but Fantastic Four, solid, worth watching. All right, so let's get into some of the news topics. Some things that have happened this week. And like I said, I just shot the pod, so some of them jokes were probably a little bit better than what these are going to be, but who cares? First off, that just broke yesterday. Shannon Sharpe fired from ESPN after his settlement finally went through. The talk was maybe he settled so ESPN could let him back on the show. I don't know. But Shannon doesn't really need ESPN. He good. But, he does need to take responsibility and think about what Monique said. All right.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Yes, Shannon, go find someone who loves you and is not going to scam you out of millions and millions and millions of dollars. But yeah, Shannon, what can we say? Just, like I said last week, actually, put the dick down, bro. It's all right. We get it. You like to be a freak. We get it. All right. Look what happened to Diddy. All his details out in the open. All your details out in the open. Trying to beat some allegation. Like, fuck what anybody thinks. If you want to do your thing, bro. Be nasty. Miss Be Nasty is who you should be with. But yeah, so Shannon Sharpe is fired from ESPN. But like I said, he has Club Shay Shay and he has the Unc and Ocho show. So what more do you want? Like, you're good. Like, just work on those two things because at some point, at his age, even with Pat McAfee doing his shows, was doing the finals and doing Monday Night Raw, and he came out and said that, he was just exhausted. Like, if anything he could cut, maybe Monday night, it's like, you do a show daily, dude. Like, at some point, it's going to get to you. Like, we're all not superhuman. We need to rest. We need to relax. So, and it seemed like Shannon was never in the studio anyways. He was always just, working from home. So, who knows? But yeah, so Shannon is fired from the ESPN. Speaking of ESPN, let's talk about the ladies in the WNBA. Somebody threw a dildo on the court. That's a sex toy. It was lime green. My first question, just one question. All right, I'm not gonna ask anything else. How'd they get it in? How'd they get it in? How'd they get it into the stadium? Like, because that ain't just something you can just hide in your, you can't just hide that in a jacket. I mean, I know the little security one ain't gonna pick it up, but I'm just like, you just had a dildo in your pocket. And like, I don't know if this is a bad thing or a good thing. Like, I don't know if throwing a dildo on a court full of women screams bad. Maybe one of the studs there wanted to use it for, like, hey, babe, pass me the dildo so I can use it on these girls later. I don't know if it's a bad thing, and I don't know if it's a good thing. I know if you throw a dildo at a guy, like unless he gay, he catching it. But other than that, we fighting. I'm catching the fade, bro. Why you throwing the dildo at me? But then again, a gay guy might try to catch a fade too. He's like, I'm a top bitch ass nigga. It's like, I think, you know what? I think throwing a dildo at anybody is probably disrespectful. Oh, dude. Yeah, so let's try not to throw dildos at people anymore. But yeah, so the WNBA, and they're still in the news. Like, 'cause last week they were like, "Pay what you owe us." Huh? What are they talking about? What is the WNBA talking about, bro? Y'all not the only reason I even know about the WNBA is still a thing is because of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Those are the only two reasons why I know about the WNBA. Other than that, I couldn't tell you. And Brittany Renner, because we traded her for the Merchant of Death. That's a thing that we did because when she was over there being a dumbass in the with Russia, I think we traded her for like the Merchant of Death. That's his name. That's who we traded her for. The basketball player, we traded her for the Merchant of Death. This guy sells weapons to everyone, and that's who we traded her for. And I don't even know if she's won any championships. I don't care to. Just saw in the news that she hasn't dated a guy. It's okay. It's okay. You don't need to. We get it, big dog. You is like, how do you? That's what I understand. Like, how do you not date a guy? How do you not date a guy and say you don't like men? Maybe you just ain't met the right guy for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just say like, how you know? How you know? How you know? I'll leave it open for discussion. Anyways, so yeah, no more dildos on the court, guys. Just imagine it would have like someone would have threw it right side up and it stuck to the ground. Imagine someone having to go over there and lift that dildo off the court as like it's their fucking Excalibur, bro. It's like, get it off. Oh, it's stuck. It's great suction. I have drawn the dildo from the courts. All right. So, also in the news, Donald Trump. Whew, he hasn't been to the Epstein Islands. Oh. Donald Trump never went. So all y'all motherfuckers that been lying about Trumpito, y'all wrong. But I will tell you what his PR team is feeling like after he says that shit.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Just like they don't know what to do. Because the day that something comes out with Trump on the island, like maybe there's an old picture that was taken and you see Trump in the background of it. What do you say about that? Like, why do you come back? And look, I know I try to play devil's advocate as much as I can. To a point, because the show is about getting you off the bullshit that you've been on. And sometimes just to open your eyes a little bit. So yeah, if I had a friend that had an island, I want to go to that island. I'm not going to lie to you. If my friend had an island, I'm going. But if my friend had an island and I knew there's a potential chance that there was some weird child sex trafficking shit going on, I think that's the island I would probably skip out on. I think that's the island that I'm skipping out on. Or let me go on the part of the island where that shit ain't happening. Like, okay, y'all got all the sex trafficking shit going on over here. Let me be on this part. Oh, that's not where all the housing is. It's okay. I'll just camp on the island. I just don't want to be near that and associated with that. And I don't approve of it, but I do want to see this island. Luckily, I haven't gotten a place in life where I know people with an island. I know someone with a boat. I do know that. but I don't know anyone with an island, and I think I'm okay with that. I think when you start getting into island territory, things start to get a little weird, obviously. So, hey, DT, if Donald Trump is smart, I'm telling people I'm on the island, all right? But guess who else was on the island? Bill. Oh, no, not just Bill Clinton. Bill Gates. I'm throwing everyone under the bus. Anyone who was on that island, I'm like, hey, them niggas was there too, bro. Like, shit. And so you just, like, Trump exposes other people that were on the island. Prince Albert, that motherfucker. Like, whoever. Like, if I'm Trump, I'm throwing them under the bus. I'm saying what I got to say. Because then the heat's off of me. Like, I don't even got to say what I did. I just got to say what they did. Saw him with a little 13-year-old. Saw Bill Gates with a little 13-year-old. What? Word? Just say it. Just lie. What happened to just good old-fashioned lying? And guess who gonna have to fact check? Him. He's like, oh, no, I'm telling you, it wasn't me. I got pictures. Boom. And then he showed him pictures of Trump on. Like, what I'm saying? It creates its own truth, through your lie. But just fun fact. No, not fun fact. Excuse me. Just a general tip to anybody. If you have a friend that has an island, probably stay away from that motherfucker, especially if they've been hit with pedo charges. So let's not tempt that shit again. All right. So I did want to talk about something real quick. We're getting a little serious real fast. So over the week, there's been a video that's been circulating of this traffic stop. Police pulled over these two women. Long story short, there was a baby in it. It was a dead baby in the car. First of all, rest in peace to that beautiful baby that died due to the lack of parent responsibility. Like at that point where you have a child, right? And you just don't think you can take care of the kid, give the kid up for adoption. Something. Allow that kid to live his or her life. Let them find out that could have been a future doctor. That could have been a future scientist, Probably not. But could have been a future, LeBron. Who knows? But just died because the lack of care of that mother. But in the comments, a lot of people were mainly talking about how like they've never seen cops like that, because the cops' reaction to everything was just like they were so sickening. There was one cop who was praying and stuff like that, and I think at the end of the day, I think a lot of people forget that cops are human. Like they're just like me and you, but they decided to put on that blue shit suit. All right. But even though that they're human at the end of the day, it still goes into my response to what I see. Somebody who shouldn't have authority over me. These niggas was acting insane. Like, they was like, get it together, brother. Come on, man. You got to get it together. Oh. It's like they were just tweaking out. And I'm saying, like, in that response, seeing that response of how they all dealt with it. And yes, I know it's a child that's dead, but just imagine in any other response where someone's trying to maybe take their life or take someone else's, or maybe doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, but nothing that's illegal. These motherfuckers act irrational. They act irrational. They act like me and you. Like if I were to put a police suit on you, you gonna act the way you act, but you just in a police suit now. I always see the video of the cop not, pulling his gun while he's being attacked. And I always see the comment, oh, bro, I would have shot that motherfucker. Yes, you would have shot that motherfucker, because that is your response. That is you in the response as a police person. Like, that is your response, because you're an average day person. And it's the same people that are in I call them costumes. I don't give a fuck. They're in these costumes pretending to be something they're really not. Bro, I am so worried, like, how police, like, I don't understand how we haven't, I'm not saying we need to truly control the police, but we need to limit some of the authority that they have, all right? I look at them like, you should be like a hall monitor or like a security guard. You know, yeah, serve and protect. You know, if someone is trying to harm someone, yes, protect them from that crazy motherfucker. That makes sense. But you being the danger sometimes, majority of the times, do we need to bring up examples? Like, because at the end of the day, these are niggas that's just like me and you that react to things just like me and you would. And so they do these, they just in a suit and they're in the costume that has this authority that I don't understand why. We need to control the authority. I don't care about the weapons that they carry. The authority that they're allowed to carry is what we need to control. Okay? If I have an issue, I should be able to report it to the police. Like, hey, there's somebody going around damaging windows and stuff like that. I should be able to report that to the police. I worked hard for my shit. Stop this motherfucker. But I'm not saying go kill that motherfucker. I'm saying stop his bullshit. Because if I stop it, I'm in trouble. So to stop everything from me getting in trouble, I will go to the police for situations that where if I were to let God guide my hands to deal with the situation, I would never have to worry about nothing ever again because I'm dealing with it. I'm going to deal with it how I want to deal with it. But those come with repercussions that I just don't have time to deal with. So I'll put it in the hands of the police. That's what they're there to do. Serve and protect. Serve and protect the community. Okay, make sure everything's recording. I was about to lose my goddamn mind again. So yeah. But yeah, I just don't think that police should have that authority over us. Some of it's kind of like, I love seeing the videos where it's a former cop that used to be a cop, and the cop is treating them like shit, and this is like, damn. It's like, yeah, that's how y'all treat us, bro. That's how y'all fucking treat us. That's what you fucking get. But yeah, the cops are there to protect us, protect and serve, bro. Now, do they do that? No. Do they do that? Sometimes. Maybe. Like, I stay away from the motherfuckers. I try not to do anything. I don't need, like, something I know that's going to trigger these motherfuckers to bother me. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm ahead of the curve, bro. Like, I don't want to hear it. They pull me over, it's to tell me that I'm driving in the wrong lane, maybe. Like, I don't know, something. Like, you shouldn't be out here. There's acid rain. Oh, thank you, cop. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. Look, I just, at the end of the day, it's just like dudes in the military. That little kid just wanted a scat pack. And now he's a general. 5-star general. He just stayed in the military. But his reactions are just like me and you. There's no degree to be a police officer. I think maybe there is, but I don't like what. I don't really care. Anyways, so last on the pod, I do want to talk about the new album Alfredo 2 by Freddie Gibbs dropped this week. So I'm not really a big fan of Freddie Gibbs. Like, I remember when I originally heard Freddie Gibbs rap, I was like, oh, I really love his style of rap, his tone, his voice. And I just kind of just, he did that Mutt remix with Leon Thomas, and I was just like, oh man, I hate this. I hate everything about this. But yeah, so Alfredo 2, it's almost like a multiverse version of Alfredo. Like some of the songs change in the name like slightly. The year there's like a song that has like a year. It's the year in the song I think goes up by 10 years or whatever. I don't know. But I thought it was a pretty chill, vibey album. I couldn't get the vinyls, already sold out. But I thought it was a solid, decent album. Alchemist is I'm sure the producer of that album, which is fucking phenomenal. Yeah, but yet again, this is an album to me that I feel like will probably just come and go. Like, and probably in the long term of things, you'll think of, hey, what are these top 10 albums? You would probably, like, oh, top 10 rap albums. Something that just, and I think due to The Alchemist, I think that's what makes it like that puts it in that conversation. You know, I don't think anything Freddie Gibbs said in this album or any of the songs on there just really like where I think like captures me, right? I think of a song when I think of a song that captures me, it's like, damn, I can keep going back to that. You know, like I love my bitch on Jack Boys 2. I just keep going back to that. I love that sample. I love that sound. I feel like fucking Black Batman. Like I feel like if there was a Black Batman, he's listening to I Love My Bitch, because that honestly sounds like the fucking Batman theme from the new Batman movie. And it's like, well, that's when I think about like a song that captivates me and captures me, like makes me keep coming back. Same with Tyler, Ring Ring Ring, like, you know, Don't Tap the Glass, and Tweaking. Like I just keep going back to those songs because I just really enjoy them. So maybe I got to kind of listen to Alfredo a couple more times. Maybe there is a song on there that where I'm like, yeah, this is it. Also, oh man, hold on. So this is a 2-part review. I forgot that NBA YoungBoy came out with a new album as well. Massa. This is, I can't believe I forgot about this. This album, and I'm familiar with YB to a point. There's some songs I have in my playlist for him. Okay. But I think this album just might be some bullshit. I think it might just be just a bunch of bullshit. To just like, hey, here's an album, you know, because I'm going on tour. I truly feel like that with this album. Like a lot of the songs, and I still have a list that I'm still putting together, but a lot of the songs sounded the same. Like a lot of the songs almost had the same beat. There were some beats from old songs. I was like, is this like a thing he does? Does he repurpose the song? Like, I'm just asking, like, is this like a thing that he does? Like, a lot of these beats sounded repurposed, and I'm just like, and that's why I feel like it. Now I'm saying it's a BS album, as in like it's just some cannon fodder. Here's some bullshit, you know, just to add to the catalog or whatever, right? I think there's some solid songs on there for sure, but YB has made it into my playlist, my workout playlist. All right. Because there's some song that just kind of get you hyped, that makes you want to like, yeah, fuck up some shit, right? It kind of make you feel like a thug, you know? If you're not feeling thuggish today, listen to some YB. It make you feel like one, right? Sex and violence. But I just thought it was mediocre at best, you know? I don't think anything from him I'm grasping. It's like 30 songs. I didn't even finish the whole album yet. I still got a long way to go. So I don't want to do a full review. But if I were to do a preview review, it ain't going to be a good one. So to talk about back to Alfredo 2, I do apologize for the slight detour, but Alfredo 2, I'm gonna give it a solid 3 out of 5. All right, I'm gonna give it a solid 3 out of 5. I think it's good. I think compared to the 2 albums that have just dropped, Masa versus Alfredo 2, like when I'm talking about rap, I'm going to Alfredo 2. Well, I want to listen to some shit for the gym, I'm going to Masa. Like, so. I'll probably review Masa next week, but just right now, a preview, like if I were to just rate it based upon, because I've heard so far 22 songs, I think. There's 30. And a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these songs almost have the same beat, so it's like, there's like nothing about them like really like sets themselves apart. And so for Masa, right, preview, review, I'm giving it a solid 2 out of 5. Just because I think it's just some cannon fodder. I think it's just some quick bullshit. You know, here's an album, right? Nothing about it is like capturing me. Like I'm just, you know. But on the other hand, with Alfredo 2, I want to give Alfredo 2 a solid. I said a solid 3.3 out of 5. Because like I said, nothing from Alfredo 2 is capturing me either. I got to listen to Alfredo 2 again, but I got to suffer through Masa for these 30 songs. So I got to finish the Masa. Yeah. So yeah, that is it for the pod this week, guys. I thought we'd just talk about the current events. You know, as each week goes on, we're trying to push further and further into the 30 minutes, 40 minutes to an hour, so we can start getting an hour pod going. just as of this week, is definitely not an hour pod. But I do appreciate you guys for watching, you guys checking out the clips, whether it's on TikTok and YouTube. Much love to y'all. Thank you guys for checking me out. Make sure to check out our sponsor, AIR, as AIR. Just breathe, nigga. It's in the air. But that is it. I am your host, President Lightskin. This has been Problematic LightSkin. Make sure to come back next week. Audio episode will drop Thursday, and video episode will drop Friday. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye. We had this big